Welcome to the Legalpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Sager, founder and CEO of Legalpreneur Inc. As a serial entrepreneur and someone that works exclusively with small business owners legally protecting their business, I'm dedicated to covering common legal issues faced by business owners, providing you with the business knowledge you need to catapult your business's growth and showing you just how some of the world's most elite entrepreneurs have handled these legal and business issues themselves. In true attorney fashion, the information in this episode is not legal advice. This is for informational purposes only, and you should always consult with your attorney before implementing any of the information in the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Legalpreneur podcast. I'm recording from my kitchen today. I'm just trying this new thing of recording in different places around the house just because I don't like to just sit in one spot. So I'm in the kitchen today, and you guys, I am so excited because we have not done this in a very long time, but we are hosting a free webinar this month on February 23rd and 24th. It's all about, does your small business need a trademark? And we're going to get into the details about what can be trademarked, what cannot be trademarked, how to do it, like all the stuff you need to know about trademarks. It's coming up in the free webinar. It's linked in the show notes. Go sign up for it right now because seats are limited. Like, we only have a certain amount of capacity, and we know this is going to fill up because it's free. You know what I say, if it's free, it's for me. And this one's free. I mean, obviously all of our webinars are free, but I don't want you to miss this. Learn everything you need to know about trademarks in this webinar. Today's episode is going to be specifically about books and those trademarks, because spoiler alert, the title of a book actually can't be protected with a trademark. And I want to touch on this because I'm coming out with a book later this year, and I want to make sure that you guys understand like the ins and outs of trademarks when it comes to books. But before we get to that, don't forget, we're giving away 4 pairs of Apple AirPods this month. We've already given away a couple of pairs, and we have 2 more pairs to give away. So make sure you screenshot this episode, share it to your stories on Instagram, tag at Andrea Sager Law and at the Legalpreneur, and you are entered to win. Like, that's it. That's all you got to do. And the more times you tag us with the episodes this month, the more entries you have to win. So it's not just like, oh, one and done. You can have up to 12 entries. And I actually gave you a bonus entry because if you leave us a review, no matter where you're listening, if you leave us a review, screenshot it and DM it to me or email it to me, whatever, that's a bonus entry. So leave us a review. I would be so grateful if you did. Now, into today's episode, books. So the title of a book, the name of a book, it cannot be protected with a trademark. This throws a lot of people off. A lot of people come to me and they're like, hey, I'm going to write this book. I want to protect it with a trademark. And I'm like, great. Unfortunately, most of the time you can't protect the title of a book. Now, there are ways to get around it, but for the most part, if you're just writing a book and you have a one-off title to it, it can't be protected with a trademark. And I don't have the book finalized, the title of my book finalized. I think I know what it's going to be. It's probably going to be Legalpreneur, the Small Business Owner's Guide to Legal Protection, something like that. We have several trademarks for Legalpreneur, for the Legalpreneur brand. The name itself is already protected. And what gets kind of tricky is I can't actually file for Legalpreneur, the book, but if I had a series of books called Legalpreneur, the Entrepreneur's Guide to Legal Protection, and then I had another book, Legalpreneur, the Startup Guide to Funding Your Business, or something like that. If there's a series of books with the same title, that's how you can actually protect a book. So the Harry Potter series, Harry Potter is protected with the trademark because, number one, it's a whole brand. And that's exactly Legalpreneur. Like, we have a whole brand around it. It's not just a book title. But same with Harry Potter. Like, nobody can have a book titled Harry Potter because that is a book series. Another way to get around it, if you only have one book, like I said, is to create a brand around it, because a lot of people have a brand. Like, and this is exactly what I'm doing. I have this Legalpreneur brand, and now I'm writing a book. I just happen to be naming it after the brand. Now, if that's the case, you're still not protected in the category of books, but the name itself is protected. And possibly, this is a big, like, if a, a big possibly, if somebody else wanted to come along and name their book Legalpreneur or whatever your brand was, and you had a book, then that could be trademark infringement, because trademark infringement is likelihood of confusion. Are consumers likely to be confused as to who's who? So if somebody else writes a book and launches it, it's called Legalpreneur, most likely people that see that book are going to think it's by me or by our brand. So that is potentially trademark infringement. So they can't get a trademark on the book. However, I may be able to stop them from using that as the name of their book, because they're presumably trying to build off of the goodwill of the Legalpreneur brand. So this is where trademarks can get really tricky. That's the quick down and dirty of trademarking books. Ultimately, you cannot protect the name of one book. However, if it's a series of books, you can protect that with the trademark. If you have a brand around the name of the book, then that brand obviously should be protected with a trademark. The book itself may not be protected, but the name can be protected as with the brand. And then if somebody else wants to have the same name as their book, that possibly could be trademark infringement, and you might be able to stop them from using that name. There's a lot of ins and outs about trademarks. That's why I really, really think you guys need to attend this free webinar. There's 2 dates happening 2 times, once on February 23rd at 7 p.m. and once on February 24th at 12 p.m., both Central Standard Time. So don't miss this. It's going to be the same webinar, so you only need to attend one, and there will be a limited replay. I don't ever like to say that because I don't want people to sign up and then think they're going to watch the replay, because it's only available for a very, very limited amount of time. So make sure, sign up, show up live. Like, you guys, whenever people show up live to these webinars, they are blown away, because we give away so much value for free in these webinars. And people are just like, wow, like, I just got that for free. Like, yeah, absolutely. That's what our thesis is over here. We educate for free, because you, as a small business owner, how are you supposed to know what you need if you aren't educated around what you actually need? Because it's hard to trust somebody that's telling you, hey, you need this for your business. Okay, why? Like, I don't understand. That's why we educate for free, so you understand. And you know when to get it done, how to get it done. So join us for free February 23rd and 24th in the Trademark webinar. Link is in the show notes. I will see you guys next time. Here at Legalpreneur, we're committed to providing a supportive legal community for all business owners. I know how scary the legal stuff can be. If you found this information helpful, I would be so grateful if you could share it with a fellow business owner. And quite frankly, it doesn't cost anything to rate, review, or subscribe to the show. Your support helps me reach more listeners, which allows me to support more business owners in their entrepreneurial journey. Have any questions or comments about the show? Feel free to drop me a line on Instagram. I promise I read all of the messages and comments. And if you want to be a guest on the show or know someone that would make a great guest, simply fill out our application form and a team member will reach out if we think it's a good fit. I'll see you in the next episode.